Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in with Jazz That's Me. Today is Friday, January 29th. Happy Friday. Um, I wanted to make this video because the further down the rabbit hole that I go, I find stuff that shocks me beyond belief. And I'm like, wait, this is out there and people are not talking about it, or people have just forgot about it, or people just don't know. You could be just like me. Like I said, the further down that I do my research, the further down that I actually look into things, I am shocked beyond a level that I'm like, where have I been? I've been hiding under a rock, apparently. I'm just shocked. So, I want to get into a, I believe it's a podcast. And I'm not sure if you guys are aware of the members of Bone Thugs and Harmony. They used to be a rap group back in the 90s. They have, features with Mariah Carey. So basically, Crazy Bones is part of Bone Thugs and Harmony, and he has a podcast now. So I was checking out his podcast because I remember seeing his podcast before and didn't really pay any mind to it. But I was like, I gotta check that out because I know he said certain things that I wanted to get into, but I never had the chance to at the time to actually look them up. But today I did. So we're gonna get into them. Okay. Wait till you guys see this podcast and what he had to say. And he encourages people to actually look up this information himself. And I like people like that because it's not like they're trying to get one over on you. They're really trying to encourage you to look this information up because it is out there and it is available. So, um, as he was saying, him and his partner were saying certain things. I was like, wait, let me look into this because I wanted to see what he was, if what he was saying was real. So, the name of this podcast is The New World Order is Upon Us, and it premiered December 4th, 2019. Okay, so let's do this. Actually, I'm gonna turn off the music part because I don't want to get copywritten. So now the podcast is on Digital Soapbox Network. So I suggest you guys subscribe to this because there's a lot of information that they give on this channel. Once again, the name of the title is The New World Order is Upon Us, Crazy Bone, Pound Truth Talks, Digital Soapbox. So subscribe, guys, okay? Now let's get into what he had to say. Now, as soon as the music goes, I'll put it
Back
on.
to your favorite
Here we go.
podcast, Truth Talks. Y'all know what it is. I am your host, Crazy Bone.
On the bum, Keith G.
And you know we got another good show planned for y'all this evening, or this afternoon, or this morning, whatever time you're listening to it. Not too long ago, I think this was like 2 episodes ago, we talked about the United Nations Agenda 21 so-called plans to take over literally everything here on the planet.
Right.
Basically. By the way, we done received a whole lot of feedback, still receiving lots of feedback from that show. And I just want to thank y'all, thank all the viewers out there for your comments and for subscribing to Truth Talks. You're greatly appreciated. Thank you. And stay woke.
For real, G.
So getting into our topic of discussion for today, which is actually going to be a continuation of Agenda 21 topic. Last time we really just spoke about the overall agenda and what it means and some of the features of the plan. And we spoke about the depopulation, but we really didn't get into it and talk about how they're going to execute this plan that they have to eradicate the hungry and homeless.
Now, just for purposes, this is all alleged, correct? All alleged. but they have some crazy points. And I will bring you, there's a few of them that I'm actually pulled up on the screen after, and I'm going to stop the video in between and show you exactly what he's talking about and give examples and basically point out, because like he said, um, he encourages people to do their own research. So I will be, as I was watching this video earlier today, I was doing my own research and I'm like, oh my God. Everything he's saying, everything had a, like, he backed up, like, I backed up everything that he had said in this video. So, not everything, but at least halfway. Let's get into it.
And all these other things.
Yeah, man.
It's gonna be deep. And also, I still want y'all to go do your research because it's plenty more out there. We're just showing you bits and pieces of the things that really matter.
Yeah, don't just believe nobody's word. You know what I'm saying? Do your own homework too. We invite you to do that kind of thing. You know.
Now, some of these plans for the population are said to be taking place right now as we speak.
Right.
Some of these things are believed to be just speculation. The government and some scientists have, they don't try to explain it away and say that it's all a conspiracy and that we shouldn't bite into it or that there's no need to be concerned about it.
Yeah.
But whenever the government tells you shouldn't be worried about something, you should definitely be worried about something.
That's when you mainly do your homework, and start to look into it.
Exactly, guys. You have to do your research. I've always been saying this. I told this to everybody. Everybody that doubts anything that I've been saying in the last few months, they're like, but no, but that can't be because of this. And I'm like, well, do your research. I've been doing my research. I've been watching every news clipping. I've been watching hearings. I've been watching, going in deep and actually doing the research, guys. Like, I'm not just getting the from one source. I'm not. So
concerned.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to dive right into it and start with this thing called chemtrails.
Okay.
That's the first thing we're going to talk about. It's called chemtrails. Chemtrails. You may have heard of it. You may not have heard of it. You know what I'm saying? Chemtrails is two words made into one, chemical and trails. Have you ever looked up in the sky and saw airplanes releasing what looks like smoke? You seen that, right?
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? And kind of like when smoke comes from a car exhaust pipe. Well, it's strongly believed by a lot of people that those planes are releasing trails of chemicals such as aluminum, strontium, and barium. And it's believed that those chemicals have had all kind of negative effects on the human population, on the animal and insect population, and also it's affecting the weather, the climate.
Now, I want to point something out to you because I was like, I kind of want to pull up the definition of chemtrail just so people know exactly what it is. So I thought it was hilarious that they automatically say conspiracy theory. Now, why would you, if chemtrails are what they are, right? But why would you have it on an internet search that's conspiracy theory here, conspiracy theory over here? This is crazy. So to me, them labeling it a conspiracy makes me think that you want to hide it even more. Oh, this is just crazy talk. That's what they say conspiracies are, right? Basically stuff that people make up that it's not really true, right? So the chemtrail conspiracy theory posts its erroneous belief that long-lasting condensation trails are chemtrails, consisting of chemical or biological agents left in the sky by high-flying aircraft sprayed for nefarious purposes, undisclosed to the general public. Now, I'm just going to point out that when I was a little girl, I remember playing outside and looking up in the air after feeling a drop or some type of like moisture on me, basically after a plane has flown by, and thinking, that's weird. I just felt like a drop. No rain in the sky, no clouds in sight, nothing. So you can't tell me that this isn't really happening or that allegedly it's a conspiracy, right? Supposedly alleged, right? Can anybody else tell me this that they haven't experienced the same thing? Because I remember being a little girl and playing outside, on my bike or, jump roping and stuff like that. And then I don't know where I'm standing there, with the neighbors or cousins or whoever I'm playing with at the time and feeling like drops. I'm like, did you feel that? Because it's not raining, but I feel like there's drops on me. You know what I'm saying? Where do these come from? You're going to tell me, yes, there are passing clouds, but that day it was a sunny day, no clouds in sight. And there was droppings after, basically like it felt like drizzle, a little bit of a drizzle right after a plane flew by. And you're telling me, you can literally tell me that this is not what this was? Yeah, I don't buy it. So I just wanted to point that out.
Oh, yeah.
And all that.
Now, Craig, let me tell you, before you even start that part right there, me and my brothers used to look up in the sky a long time ago, and we used to, see we call it skywriting. You know what I'm saying? We think that they doing that. That's how, that's a friendly way of, doing it before, to get you kind of used to it. Doing. Yeah, they the plans to do that, but, we never questioned it because, you're thinking that maybe.
Nobody ever questions it because why would you question that? You're like, oh, there's airplanes on the sky. And they're leaving streaks behind. Okay. Oh, is that drizzle? Huh.
Doing a sonic boom test or something like that, going fast or something. Mm-hmm. So we just never even questioned it till these, doing research on these topics,
Definitely. There's a man by the name of Ted Gunderson. He was a former FBI chief, and he made a video stating that he saw firsthand that chemtrails are more than just speculation. In fact, he says they are very much reality. Yeah. This information comes.
Now, I want to point out, because I had to look him up, the Ted Gunderson, former FBI chief, exposes. Guys, okay, he talks about this right here. I'm not going to say it because I don't want my time to strike or whatever the case is, but he talks about this. This is a former FBI chief. There are plenty of videos. Okay? He has plenty of books out there too. So what I'm going to try to do for the next time, I'm going to see if I can actually go to the bookstore tomorrow and see if I can get my hands on a few of his books, and I'll let you know what I come up with, and I'm going to watch some of these videos as well. But I just wanted to point out that what these guys are saying is pretty much on point. Look at 4 minutes in, and I already proved 2 of their points. So.
Coming from a man who was on the inside.
Yeah, FBI, what I'm saying?
he was on the team. You know what I'm saying? He was the chief of the FBI.
Yep.
He also says that he witnessed this happen personally.
Firsthand, G.
Firsthand. You know what I'm saying? He saw it firsthand.
He saw this firsthand, guys. You can't get any closer than that than firsthand.
Something like that make you feel of, where you of course, maybe you look into your country as you supposed to, that they helping you or this and this kind of thing, but when you find it's almost like finding your wife in the bed with somebody, bro.
Hey, wait a minute now. You're gonna kill somebody.
It really is, and that's the way it feels too. You know what I'm saying? After all these kind of, and I'm gonna be brief with this. Every year I gotta do a smog check on my car. Every year everybody has to do a smog check on their car because they're worried about your carbon footprint and stuff like that. This defeats the whole purpose of all that kind of stuff. So if you got us thinking about, pollution in the air and this and that, and you are in the back door, really.
They doing some on a grander scale.
Aluminum in the air, bro. That ain't good for lungs. So yeah, it ain't break my heart because I know America can be sneaky. I know this world could be sneaky. I know man is sneaky. You know what I'm saying? But it just kind of enlightened me to a little bit to make me be like, damn, y'all really going that hard at us?
He talked about the animals, the fish and the birds.
Mm-hmm.
How many videos have we seen of dead fish and whales washing up on the shore of the beaches, birds falling from the sky?
We've all seen this. We've all wondered, why are they coming, animals that are not even supposed to be anywhere near like beach areas and stuff like that. Like, I live in Mass, and we had like certain types of sharks and whales, and I believe it was, I think, killer whales. I think they were coming up on the shore of our beaches, and I was just like, whoa, this is crazy. Seals, everything. So this isn't, I have an example. I just want to let them talk for another second, and I will show you the example.
And dying,
all that.
We've seen quite a few. As a matter of fact, there was just a video I saw recently, no lie, like a few weeks ago, bro, of birds slamming into the NASCAR Hall of Fame building.
Okay, let's pause. He said birds flying into the NASCAR building. Okay, look at this video of 100 birds crashing into NASCAR Hall of Fame building.
Break.
Oh, sorry, guys. I went too far.
This may be a little bit hard to watch. Hundreds of
Look at this.
birds literally flying into the side of the NASCAR Hall of Fame overnight. You can see them all covering the ground. Onlookers were baffled, pretty terrified. Now a local rescue group is working overtime. They're trying to save as many of those birds as they can. Reporter Gina Esposito has been following this story for us all morning. She just spoke to members of that rescue team.
Yeah, I just spoke with staff here at the Carolina Waterfowl. They tell me they're taking care of more than 200 birds inside their facility here. Many have serious injuries. Now, I want to show you that video again, but I want to warn you that it can be disturbing. The video shows a bird crash into the NASCAR Hall of Fame in Uptown and then fall to the ground, joining dozens of others. Holly Cameron says she shot this cell phone video around 9 o'clock last night. Overnight, Carolina Waterfowl.
Nobody sees that this is odd. 9 o'clock at night, they were running into building. Like, that doesn't sound right to you guys. Like, this doesn't sound right to me. And I didn't even see this at all. So wouldn't you think that, not to be, extra or a little dramatic, but wouldn't this be worldwide news? I'm just not sure why I didn't see it.
In total, 310 birds hit that window. Unfortunately, a third died. Another third were stunned but should be okay. The rest have serious injuries like broken wings and fractures. Within the past hour and a half, staff shared this video of them feeding the birds. They said since these birds only eat while flying, they have to hand feed them every 30 minutes.
Wow.
One staff member says this is the largest intake they've ever received.
I knew the birds were going to be here, but I saw the video this morning and yeah, it's quite shocking. It's not something common, right? I mean, we know it's happened before, but it's not something that happens all the time.
The rescue group says they've been in contact with the NASCAR Hall of Fame as well as St. Pete Animal Control. Earlier, they told me that it was possible that something disturbed those birds where they were nesting, and that's when they flew into the building. They're still trying to figure out what exactly that was.
Something disturbed them. Guys, come on now. Let's just be clear on that. Something disturbed these birds. Yeah, I highly doubt that. Something was nefarious was going on. So
hitting the ground and dying. It was all over the news.
Damn.
There has to be some explanation as to why these birds, all at the same time, just fell from the sky, crashed into this building, and some of them died. And they said the injuries range from fractured wings to eye damage.
Damn.
Very strange. Now, these birds is in the sky all day.
Chilling.
What's in the sky that made them all take a dive at the same time and crash?
exactly. What happened when they were up there? Something happened that forced all these little birds to fly into the same direction. Okay? A third of them died. This is insane, guys. This is insane. I'm just saying, this is insane.
Into a building and just fall dead.
Man, hitting that chemical they got in the air.
It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's very crazy. Like I said, the government has been trying to explain it all the way as just some conspiracy. You have to understand that the people that are planning the depopulation are very rich, very powerful, very influential human beings. They own and control the media.
Yes.
So of course they have the power to control what's being revealed and what shouldn't be revealed.
Or to make it look like a scandal.
Exactly. Or to cover up to make it
How many times have there been cover-ups and scandals and stuff like that? We're all seeing now that, allegedly 9/11 was a scandal in itself. There are so many quote unquote alleged conspiracy theories about how these buildings were built, how the Twin Towers were rebuilt after this happened a time before that, how allegedly there were bombs in the building structure, allegedly that it might have been a hologram. Like, there are many things that were said about 9/11, and everybody says it's a conspiracy theory or whatever the case was. Okay, just hold on to that. And then all the footage that came after, all the documentaries. Michael Moore did one. Check that out. Okay, check out all his documentaries, because the things he has found out about people and has said, and yeah, it's definitely out there, guys. You just have to look and be paying attention. Pay attention, keep your eyes open, and make sure you're actually taking notes and listening, and just pay attention.
Cover up anything they have to. This is something they've been doing for years.
Word.
Truth talk.
Yeah.
Wake up, stay woke.
Man.
Real talk. You know what I'm saying?
Stay woke. Stay woke, my friends. My 107 subscribers. Stay woke, my people. Stay woke. It's so much information out there. Stay woke.
Because you got to know what's going on. Now, Ted Gunderson, the one that was telling the truth about everything, I recommend that you go back and look at some of his videos.
Yeah.
Because he sheds light on a lot of things, such as the Oklahoma bombing, which he says was an inside job.
You hear that? This is former FBI. All right. We're going to discuss this stuff. I'm going to do my best to see if I can, watch a bunch of the videos. Like I said, I'm going to see if I can get his books. I'm going to see what I can do for you guys, because we all need to know this. The more people know, the better. I hate to be ill-informed. I hate not to know something that I should have known. I hate to find things out later on that I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This was happening the whole damn time. I am one of those people that I get upset when I am lied to. I don't like it. I'm not okay with it. Like, not okay with it. Like I told you, I was on that point. I was just kind of complicit. I was kind of just like, going with the flow and kind of like, okay, whatever, for a very long time. I was living my life in the sense of an everyday routine, and I was not looking or searching for information. I just kind of, watched the news, kind of was like, okay. I was kind of, before I was a Trump supporter, I was a Trump hater. I'm not going to lie to you. I was one of the biggest ones. I'm like, are you kidding me? Why haven't they impeached him? He's a racist. He's this. He's allegedly that, right? Until after the impeachment and the fact that they couldn't impeach him, I was like, in Spanish, I was like, hay algo raro aquí. Basically, there is something very weird here. There is something strange, and I need to find out, And like I said, being home and having so much access to internet and to all the other things that I have access to, I was like, oh my God, this is insane. Where have I been? So don't feel bad. Don't feel bad about finding out these stuff now or finding out anything, because at least, your mind is opening up to the possibility of the more information out there, and it's waking up to like, okay, if this is true, maybe this is true. Okay, I am going to try to do my best to point out, like I said in my last video, I'm going to point out every single thing that I find out. So let's keep going.
Yeah,
the JFK murders, and just a lot of things you should definitely do your research on, because you would definitely be shocked, like, okay, wow. And always remember, he was somebody on the inside. And by the way, Ted Gunderson is dead.
Yeah.
Now,
listen, what he's about to say Like I said, it's all alleged, right? Just for the people that need to hear that. It's all alleged. But what he's about to say, I was like, whoa. Okay.
Now,
Conveniently.
July 31st, 2011, his son made a statement that said he died from cancer of the bladder. But many people believe, and even Ted Gunderson believed himself, that he was poisoned by the government.
Yeah, that's what he was even saying.
You know, so he even said it himself. He had many attempts on his life for shooting off at the mouth.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he said. Yeah, I had many attempts on my life for shooting off at the mouth. Just look at his videos because he breaks down a lot of things that you need to hear.
These are people that's called, whistleblowers. That's what they call people in this arena. They call them snitches. How we call them snitches.
Okay, listen. Snitches, whistleblowers, whatever. But how many times did you see in the past, or have you guys come across something that snitches and whistleblowers go away? They get rid of them. Why are they getting rid of them if they're just conspiracies, right? There's obviously something that they are holding information that you don't want them to get out. So
they call them whistleblowers.
It's some on trial right now, trying to find out that, but that's a different kind of thing.
Yeah.
But this is what they try to do. They try to discourage people from telling the truth because all of this, what we're talking about, all this is based on, like my man said, it's a few select rich, super rich is what I will call them, and that's what they call themselves, the super rich and the super elite. They're scared because what they do is they don't have no concept of God, so they actually fear that if the planet is overpopulated, if there's too many people, like, so say it's 10 of us in a room and it's only enough food to live for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What they coming up with in their mind is like, you know what? We need to get down to 5 so we can live for 6 years.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they're feeling like, resources are going to be, not enough resources, not enough food, not enough this and that, not enough this kind of thing with ozone layer that I've never seen in my life to this day anyway. They got people worried about that kind of thing. So this is some of the things because they're in fear and they want to preserve all these things and be greedy and keep them for themselves, G.
Truth talks. So now we're gonna move on to contamination of the food and water supply.
Here we go.
All right, guys, contamination of the water supply. Flint till this day is still contaminated. Why? How in the hell do you guys over there in Flint have a mayor or a governor or even the senators from Michigan? How is this still contaminated? Not cool. Not cool at all. Okay? What he's about to say is going to blow your damn mind. And then I have an article to read to you guys right after that. Because you're going to be like, no. What? Yeah. But no, it's true. Allegedly, right?
Go. So it is also known that the government has been contaminating the food and water supply. They've been putting fluoride into the drinking water.
Man.
I think we spoke about this in our last podcast about the agenda. If you go and look at your toothpaste or your mouthwash and look at the warning that's on there,
yep,
they tell you that if you swallow more than the amount that you're supposed to while you're brushing or rinsing your mouth out, then you should immediately contact poison control. Because of the fluoride that's in it.
You know what I'm saying?
So guys, what he's trying to tell you is right now, okay, you're brushing your teeth, or you have kids that are being silly, or, they just want to eat the toothpaste instead of actually spitting it out and stuff like that. On the back of each of these labels of, mouthwash, toothpaste, it actually says, if you consume a certain amount of this, call poison control. Poison. Can we point that out? Poison. They're not selling you this for no reason, guys. But conveniently, they still put it in our food, in our food. It's in the stuff that we brush our teeth in with. You know what I'm saying? It's just, this is insane, guys. Like, this is no joke. So
that's why we let it be like that.
Poison control.
Oh, from toothpaste?
Then why are you putting it in the water? It's a known fact.
Then why the hell are we using it? Oh, no. It's not what I wanted. Sorry, guys.
Meet Grammarly Business, a solution to help your entire organization.
I'm just going to fast forward it to where we were. We're about here, I believe.
Check on my car. Every year, everybody has to do a small check on their car because they're worried about your car.
Fractured wings to eye damage.
Oh,
Damn.
about the birds.
Very strange.
Let's move on a little bit.
Telling the truth about everything, I recommend that you go back and look at some of his videos.
Yeah.
Because he sheds light on.
Let's type Gunderson. Maybe
He had
this is
many
where
attempts on his life for shooting off at the mouth.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he said. Yeah, I had many attempts on my life for shooting off at the mouth. Just look at his videos because he breaks down a lot of things that you need to hear.
These are people that's called, whistleblowers. That's what they.
Let's fast forward a little more. Sorry, guys. Thank you for having patience.
Go and look at, if you go and look at your toothpaste
There you go.
or your mouthwash and look at the warning that's on there,
Yep.
they tell you that if you swallow an amount, if you swallow more than the amount that you're supposed to while you're brushing or rinsing your mouth out, then you should immediately contact poison control. Because of the fluoride that's in it.
You know what I'm saying? That's why we let it be like that.
Poison control?
Oh, from toothpaste?
Then why are you putting it in the water? It's a known fact that too much fluoride can mess with your brain, and it makes your brain, it tends to make your brain more subtle,
right,
and subjective and submissive, basically dumbing you down to go along with the agenda of the powers that be. That's why you have so many people walking around here and all of this stuff is going over their heads.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
pretty much.
It's like people don't care. Like people are cool with sticking to the program.
Yeah.
Like the Matrix. But they don't make these movies for nothing, bro.
Nah, these movies are.
And I'm going to point that out to you too. I have a clip that I want to show you guys that this does happen. Please look for the Out of Shadows documentary. That is going to blow your minds. You're going to be like, no, what? Yeah, you have to watch it. So I have a clip. Let me see where it is. Is this it? Oh, yeah, it's right here. So I'm going to let him say what he has to say, and then I'll play the clip.
They're inspired. That's why.
Exactly.
You know what? I never realized how much art imitates life or life imitates art until I started looking in these kind of things like this. The Terminator, all that stuff, this ain't just like fabricated or made.
Now, listen, I've always watched Terminator, and I'm like, wow, I wonder if that's true. Also, another movie that I thought it was like a little like, huh. And I've always wondered if that was true too. You remember the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Eraser? I think Michelle Williams is in that movie. I believe it's Michelle Williams. Go back and watch that movie, and they literally got rid of people, like erased their identity, everything. You think that doesn't happen here? It doesn't happen in real life? What do you think, guys? You really don't think it happens? I don't know. All of these. And then another one was, they actually talked about this in the Out of Shadows documentary. They were talking about, what's that Ben Stiller movie? Jeez Louise. It just slipped out of my head. Oh, Zoolander. There you go. Zoolander. Okay. Zoolander. You remember in Zoolander that he was being mind controlled, which is called MK Ultra. Okay. This is supposedly one of the examples of how they put things into movies, so people can be like, that's not true. That's just, that's part of a movie. That sounds like a movie, whatever. In your head, you watched it in a movie, so it can't be real. It's just a movie. But guys, come on. You're not naive. You're not stupid. You know that every idea comes from somewhere. So Just keep that in mind.
Up out of nowhere. It doesn't just start by some genius idea. This stuff is coming from things that, you know, somebody has been exposed to, but they kind of leaking it out. But I think they let them make these kind of films so we'll always think it's some sci-fi stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what I just said, because then they want people to think that it's fake. Okay. Now let's play this clip. This is from the Out of Shadows documentary. Okay. Take a look at this and let me know what you guys think in the comments, because you're going to be like, what? And this is a real documentary. A real documentary. Look it up. It used to be, the whole full version used to be on YouTube, and now it's not. So try to find it and see if you can watch this, because your minds are going to be blown. Watch this.
So I was like, I don't really know anybody that can answer these questions. And I reached out to this guy who I'd been watching online. His name was Kevin Shipp. And for those of you who don't know who Kevin Shipp is, he's a CIA whistleblower. He worked in counterintelligence, and he served in many capacities in his tenure at the CIA.
Now we got an FBI agent, and now we have someone from the CIA. These are people that were trying to get out the truth, okay? Keep that in mind.
This is The Big Picture, an official television report to the nation from the United States Army.
It was an OSS memo, the precursor to the CIA, where they were doing a study of the use of motion pictures in America as a means of psychological warfare. So it goes.
You hear that, right? So it says the motion picture as a weapon of psychological warfare, objective to exploit the potentialities of the motion picture as a weapon of psychological warfare for the United States. Sorry, I'm Spanish, so I kind of butcher everything. Sorry about that. Survey of the situation. Potentialities. The motion picture is one of the most powerful propaganda weapons at the disposal of the United States. It can serve many diversified functions. Keep that in mind.
Goes all the way back to pre-1947 when
pre-1947. So this has been happening for centuries, right? For over a century? Almost a century, right? 100 years? Almost? No, a little less than 100 years. Okay.
U.S. intelligence was using motion pictures to alter the thinking of Americans in the United States.
The morale of our troops is high.
Let me read this to you. A motion picture can contribute to the building and maintenance of morale. Stop playing with me. This is crazy. Dispelling doubt and uncertainty and allaying anxiety. Providing a unique and valuable form of, I can't see it.
High. The laughter,
recreation,
music, and general entertainment which comes out of a single small package like this one have helped.
They can be aimed at the civilians and the armed forces of the United States to inform and instruct, to create attitudes, to stimulate or inhibit action, to build morale. Why do you think our former president was saying fake news, fake news, fake news, fake news? You know why? Because they were basically trying to get to your morale and let you know that he was this or he was that, or he thought this or he thought that. But then again, this is what's happening in movies. So
to build that morale.
The CIA is funneling information into Hollywood. Hollywood is putting out in the movies, and the population believes it.
Taxes to bury the Axis.
The Motion Picture Alliance for the Preservation of American Ideals. Keep that in mind, guys. Oh no, Walt Disney was the first president? You gotta be kidding me.
This document right here is a FOIA document. Anybody in America, anybody can request this. It's Freedom of Information Act. And in the 40s, they were telling you they controlled the radio stations.
Do you hear this, right? In the 40s. Guys, this is real. The motion pictures as a weapon of psychological warfare, production, distribution, and exhibition, with overall psychological warfare strategy, both at home and abroad. Recently, OWI took over all U.S. shortwave broadcasting station. On the other hand, 8 private Hollywood companies still maintain offices abroad which export motion pictures to a...
They controlled most of the mainstream media.
He's telling you that this is happening in the 40s, that they controlled most of the mainstream media. This is in the 40s. We're in 2021 now. What do you think is happening now? Let's be serious. How many people watch the news? Now, I wanted to point out something else too that I noticed. Regular cable, a set price, right? People get what they can afford for cable. Cable is extremely expensive. If you don't buy the complete package of cable, right, with all the channels, with all the news stations, you don't see certain things. You don't get all the news. I was pointing out to my mother that unless you have a certain package, you're completely like, basically you don't have access to these things. So you're completely like in the dark, guys.
They're telling you right here that motion pictures are used as psychological warfare. Why would they stop doing it?
At no time has the CIA engaged in any political activity or any intelligence activity. It was not approved at the highest level.
Alan Dulles groomed and recruited Ian Fleming, and Dulles and the CIA actually helped Fleming write his books and paint the CIA in a favorable light. And Dulles helped produce Thunderball to make the CIA and agents look like honorable, cool people. The CIA actually helped him write the books and write the script for that movie. And then the
CIA is writing scripts. Why? Why, guys? You see what I'm telling you? Like, CIA is writing scripts. Red flag.
The president of MPAA was actually providing intelligence to the CIA as an operative in that position in Hollywood.
Mr. Fleming, in your books, there's a great amount of detail. Is this detail based on personal experience? Do you make it up? Where does it come from?
Well, I can say it's 90% from personal experience, really. Of course, if I started sticking too close to the true espionage work of today, I should be in trouble with the Official Secrets Act in England, even supposing I had access to information.
You're hearing this, right? 90% of it is real, what he was putting in his movies. Don't let that go over your head.
There's no question about the fact that Mockingbird,
CIA's Operation Mockingbird. We all have heard of this. This is literally true. Look it up, guys. We'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believes is false. Guys, this is no joke. Everything you've seen in movies, you all have to question them. Guys, watch the conspiracy theory movie with Mel Gibson. In one of my videos, I point out that he had said something about Hollywood and how Hollywood was built on the blood of children. Okay, this is what he said. Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson is a very well-known actor. He was very well-known since he has come out into the business. And remember, they shunned him. I show it in my videos. Check out the videos, guys. Watch my videos. I showed in my video how I believe it was Robert Downey Jr., how he had to come out and say, listen, we are not all, you know, basically, if we're in this business and we all have basically have not sinned, you're in the wrong business. You know what I'm saying? Basically, to give him another chance, because you know everybody has had their moments that they've had to be forgiven, or maybe they have said certain things or acted on a certain way, or said that they were going to expose certain things and maybe they got shunned. Or I don't know how many of you are Dave Chappelle is another one. Dave Chappelle. What happened with Dave Chappelle? As soon as he said, nope, I'm not doing that, turned down the offer, people said he was crazy, that he was on drugs. He literally says it from his mouth that as soon as he got off the plane, he was accused of being a drug addict. After he you know, after a meeting that he did with, I believe it was Comedy Central, and he turned down their offer because he didn't like it, or whatever the case was. As soon as he got off his plane, he was already a crackhead, allegedly, right? Guys, this is no joke. Look it up. This is no joke.
Is real. It started out paying journalists in major media, Pulitzer Prize-winning journalists, to print fake stories that the CIA wanted in the press and fake interviews. And this was revealed in the Church Committee.
Do you have any people being paid by the CIA who are contributing to a major circulation American journal? We do have people who submit pieces to two American journals.
And of course, then the CIA destroyed the rest of the files, which is what they do. George H.W. Bush came out and finally made the statement about Mockingbird. Well, we're going to officially stop the Mockingbird program. The CIA will no longer pay journalists to write stories. From now on, the program is voluntary, which means Mockingbird continues today. When's the last time you've seen a mainstream media outlet do a serious investigative report?
You have not. In the last couple of years, I have not seen them actually do something real. In my video from yesterday, check out the video that I just posted last night, the reporter, Amy Robach, I think her name was, right? We had everything on Epstein, every single thing on Bill Clinton. We had everything. And then what? What happened? The palace found out. Then they were told. So who told them? Who told the palace? Who gave them the heads up? Obviously, these reporters have to report these things to the FBI, CIA, or whoever, whatever agency that they have to report certain crimes to. So who knocked on the palace's door and said, hey, just a heads up, this is going to happen, just so you know, so get over there, you know, and start making your threats. Like, these things happen, guys. These things really happen. When is the last time that we've actually seen a real story that's come out that was actually like, oh my God, this journalist did their thing? The last person that I've actually can say that he actually did his thing was Ronan Farrow. Ronan Farrow's book, was it Catch and Kill, I believe? Yeah, I believe it's Catch and Kill. This book was amazing. He did his story on Harvey Weinstein. He did his investigation. He went back and forth. He almost lost his, I believe, did he lose his job? I believe he lost his job because he didn't back down. They didn't want him to go forward with this, so he kept investigating without them knowing. This is the only time that I've actually seen somebody that actually did their work, their investigative work, the right way. It's been a long time since you've seen something like this. And you don't see that on the mainstream media anymore at all.
On the actions of the CIA. There's a reason for that.
This would mean that the CIA could manipulate the news in the United States by channeling it through.
So you're telling me former president Donald Trump said fake news for 4 years and you think he was lying? This is a guy that's telling you that he wasn't. Listen.
Some foreign country. And we're looking at that very carefully.
You say that continues today?
Well, I would think probably for a reporter it would continue today, but because of all of the revelations of the period of the 1970s, it seems to me that a reporter's got to be much more circumspect in doing it now.
How many times have you seen something, right? You go and you be like, oh, um, like you're watching the news and you're like, all right, let me click to Channel 5 to see what they say. Or, let's click to whatever news, CBS or NBC, and check their news. And the reporters say the same exact thing. You think that's by accident? You think it's the best choice words that they had to use? That's BS. They were told to say this shit.
Or he runs the risk of at least being looked at with considerable disfavor by the public. I think you've got to be much more careful about it.
Platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 There you go. I just pointed it out right there. Look at that. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 There is something about the way the CIA has been functioning that is casting a shadow on our historic position of freedom, and I feel we need to correct it.
Harry Truman, guys. Harry Truman.
Senator Moynihan proposed a bill to dismantle the CIA.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Introduced it twice. The second time was 1995. Ironically, 1 year later in 1996, the CIA established the Entertainment Liaison Office, which was specifically penetrated into Hollywood, and Chase Brandon was actually co-wrote scripts. For example, The Recruit.
Whoa, guys, The Recruit. I've always thought that movie was part of this too, man. I've always said that the way that The Recruit is, I believe with Bridget Monahan, the one that has a baby with Tom Brady, she's the one that stars in this. And I've always said that movie was way too real. Way too real. Like, it just seemed so real. Like,
High horsepower, high energy, very competitive people who are driven by patriotism and a sense of wanting to serve a greater cause.
I am recruiting you. Would I have to kill anyone? Would you like to?
So the CIA was and is in Hollywood, was and is
in Hollywood, guys. This is not a joke. This is people telling you from their own voice. Let's be serious. Like, spread the word. Tell your family, tell your friends. Share this video because it needs to be told to people. People need to hear this.
Contributing to Hollywood productions and that manipulation.
The Recruit. Nothing is what it seems.
Exactly. Nothing is what it seems. So let's go back because I just wanted to point this out because these boys right here have been so on point. So definitely subscribe to Digital Soapbox Network because these guys always bring the truth. Okay. He was just actually on Hip Hop Uncensored. That's another show I watched. It's basically not a show, a YouTube channel that I actually follow because their commentary is pretty great. They have the latest stories on everybody. And it's basically people of the industry and stuff like that, or people that were associated with the industry. So it's pretty good.
Well,
So
it's just a movie.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, as far as the food contamination, they're putting GMOs and toxins into our food and even removing certain things from our food, such as the vitamins and minerals that we need to stay healthy. Now, there's another video that I would like you to watch on your own.
Now, I wanted to point out how I'm not sure if you guys have ever been to the Caribbean or have ever been to another country or whatever the case is. But what my opinion is, people in countries that actually grow their own food, they're a lot more healthier than the food in the United States. I've been to, different countries and the food tastes way better. Like, it just tastes fresh. No chemicals, nothing. Why do our fruits always have chemicals on them? Why is it that we have to soak our fruit or put it in apple cider vinegar to take out the bugs or the chemicals or the pesticides that are on our fruit? Think about these things, guys. All these things take a toll on us.
That was made by a young lady named Lisa Haven. And she talks about 10 symptoms that we are experiencing now from the whole depopulation.
All right. So Lisa Haven, I'm going to get to you guys on that too. I'm going to actually look into it. Look at that alert. Your medication may be in the chip. Guys, this is no joke. This was April 3rd, 2019. You know, I'm going to look into her as well. And I will bring you a video on her and Ted Gunderson. So I just wanted to let you know that I have it here, but I didn't have enough time to actually look into everything. But I will be. Just wanted you to know that I'm on it.
Agenda. And these things are already taking place. It's very interesting. You should definitely take the time to look it up whenever you get a chance, you know, because it's very, very deep information. She goes in about, you know, like, you know, it's just deep. Just make sure you do it. Make sure you look it up. Moving on to the next, which is these vaccinations.
Man, cut it out.
These vaccinations, you know what I'm saying? It's you know, this now, this has been a very controversial issue for many years, and over time, a lot of parents have completely refused to have their children vaccinated in fear of the negative issues that they believe are connected to these vaccinations.
Yeah.
The truth is the powers that be manipulate us to think that these plans that they're putting together are plans to help us, when in fact it's totally the opposite.
Total opposite, yo.
It's to get rid of us.
Actually, and right now, like my man's saying, is what they project to be 8 billion, a little over 8 billion people that's on the planet. They trying to have what their goal is. Their main goal is to have 500,000 to 1 billion people on the planet. So that actually means right there, damn near 7 to 6 billion people got to go. Don't care how they got to go. Don't know where they got to go. But these people want to decide that they have to go, and they're what they're gonna do is have it into different aspects, and we'll get along to that as we go on.
Bare aspirin, bro, is used. They were telling people that bare aspirin can be used for heart attack.
As a reducer for heart attack. Now, actually, they have a word for it. They say, I'm on my bare regimen. That's what they have the United States population, and outside the United States too. That's what they got them talking about. I'm on my bare regimen. So they got them actually taking this with no headache. You're only supposed to take an aspirin when you know what I'm saying, feeling this way or that way. But they have people that were taking them every day. And to have AIDS found inside something like that, cut it out, man.
You heard it with your own ears. They found HIV/AIDS in the Bayer medication, Bayer aspirin, guys. Allegedly, right? Yeah. Let's get into that. It's insane. The stuff that I found today that I had to like literally take a break, call my mother and share, because I was like, oh my God, Mom, this is crazy. So, Bayer HIV. Be careful of Big Pharma. Bayer HIV. This is from naturallifeenergy.com. How can these words be associated in a negative way? One would think that this could never happen, but it did. Though this is an old story, it needs to be revisited as a reminder that big business and big pharmaceutical companies take care of their bottom line first. Often the little person and the disenfranchised person is taken for granted. Big companies establish themselves as trustworthy authorities in their industry, and the general population come to accept them as trustworthy. The thought may be that these companies have gotten so big that they must be trustworthy and their products must be better than the rest. Who doesn't think that way? Oh, we have to buy Nike because it's the best. It's been around the longest. It's been, they're the best sneakers, right? But no, that's not always the case, okay? Or, Hood milk is the best, right? But that's not always the case either, right? So, all right. and their products must be better than the rest. Well, there appears to be more going on than what meets the eye. Isn't there always? Oh. Bayer HIV scandal factor 8. During the mid 1980s, the Bayer unit, Cutter Biological, developed a medicine called Factor 8. Bayer's Factor 8 is a medicine that is injected into the bloodstream via syringe to treat people with hemophilia, a genetic disorder where the blood doesn't clot normally. Bayer's first version of the medicine was the unheated version of the medicine, which presented the risk of transmitting HIV to its users. The company supposedly didn't know the version contained HIV when it was first made, but mounting evidence eventually made it possible for Bayer to ignore that fact. Did you guys know that Bayer actually makes our food as well? Did you guys know that? If you didn't, look it up. Okay? The medicine was made from the plasma of blood donors, which contained the missing component people with hemophilia needed to properly clot. Since there wasn't any HIV screening at the time, the plasma was given freely to those who needed it, and some of the units were contaminated with the HIV virus. Once Bayer became aware that their product was contaminated with HIV, Bayer later developed a safer, heated version of the medication, which it sold in the US and European markets. The heated version rendered the virus undetectable. To me, that doesn't mean that it still doesn't contain the virus. It only meant that it couldn't be detected. This is some BS, guys. Some BS. Ay, ay, ay. Whew. Bayer made the heated version available in the United States and the European markets, but HIV had already been given to thousands of hemophiliacs, many of whom died. Bayer admitted no wrongdoing, but Bayer and their three other companies had to pay hemophiliacs about $600 million to settle more than 15 years of lawsuits, accusing them of making a dangerous product. Bayer did not make the safer heated version of Bayer 8 medicine, which US and European markets were given access and benefited from. Bayer knowingly continued to make and sell the unheated HIV contaminated version to Asian and South American countries because it was cheaper to produce. So you were literally giving, oh my God. Guys, they were literally putting it out there even though they knew it was contaminated. Why would they do something like this? Bayer didn't want to lose money by destroying the HIV contaminated medicine, and in the end, Bayer was allowed to sell the contaminated medicine to Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Japan, Argentina, with the permission of the FDA. Ay, Dios mío. According to documents, I'm sorry, of the FDA, according to the documents, be the New York Times. Part of the Bayer HIV scandal involved two French health officials who were concerning with no losing money, so they continued to use up old stocks of the HIV contaminated unheated version of Bayer Factor 8, even when the heated version became available. Wow, guys. Oh my God. And this was in the 80s. So obviously there was a higher spike of the HIV virus. Wasn't it not until 1984 or 1985 that they didn't know what actual AIDS was? Or they call it, what was it? GERD? I believe it was GERD. I'm not really sure, but I think it was. And they didn't know about the virus. They didn't know a lot about it. And so wait a minute. To me, that's some BS that they didn't know about it now that I'm reading this, because if in the 80s they were putting it in and they knew what it was or what it could do, they knew exactly what they were trying to do. Okay, guys? Don't let that go over your head. Don't let it go over your head. It might have not been diagnosed, or they might have not had a way to treat it. They might have not had a way to even let you know that you had it. But they knew what it could do. They knew exactly what it could do. So they put it out there. And now think about it. They put it out there knowing that it could hurt so many people. Imagine how many people died in the 80s because of this. Wow. At least they were sent to prison, unlike their US counterparts who didn't face any jail time for infecting tens of thousands with HIV and killing thousands. This is some BS. To me, it just seems like every few years they let out some type of virus to depopulate, just like these young men are saying. And it just seems like they're doing it obviously on purpose. So I wanted to point this out. I'm not going to read the rest of it because it's really pissing me off. So if you guys want to read it, the rest of it, I will put the link down in the description box. But let's just get into what these guys have to say. There's about 15 minutes left. Okay.
It's real, bro.
And the FDA, now the Food and Drug Association of America, you know what I'm saying, of the world pretty much really, and the United States government, they found out, knew about this stuff, as you can see from the video. There's the Bear Aspirin actually had to apologize on a New York Times, in a New York Times interview.
These people were shipping Bear Aspirin out that were injected with AIDS. This is fact. There are documents written that support this.
Yep.
They knew they couldn't sell it in America, so they sent it out to other countries.
Just to make a...
I just pointed out how many countries they sent it over to, knowing it was still infected.
Profit.
Just to make a profit. Your life don't matter. Money matters.
They sent it to France. They sent it to Europe. They sent it to Asia, Latin America, and to Japan.
It's also being said and strongly believed that AIDS was engineered by scientists for depopulation. Now, there was a part in this video, the same video that I've been getting all these clips from, and you can research this video yourself. It's called Agenda 21 Global Depopulation Plan.
Yeah.
And the sound in this video was totally fine throughout the entire video. But when it came to the part explaining how scientists engineered the AIDS virus for the use of depopulation
in a laboratory,
the sound mysteriously went out.
Or
the entire time they spoke about this situation. Now, I don't know if somebody tampered with the video and made it, made it like that, but it just seems strange to me because
Guys, you hear that, right? They're trying to keep the truth from the rest of the world. So they went into that video and basically scrambled or, messed up the audio on it. So it wouldn't be too obvious maybe, but they messed up the audio so they can basically hide the truth.
I was all into it. I was waiting to hear the answer. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
However, the AIDS virus did not exist anywhere in nature.
Nowhere.
So science.
Guys, a lot of these viruses are patented. When something is patented, it's because they were man-made. Man-made. So somebody made this on purpose. That's what patented viruses are.
Just started to wonder, where the hell did this come from all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Now, after the sound comes back in on this video, it catches a little bit of the ending of what they say about the AIDS virus, saying that the AIDS virus was originated from the polio vaccination.
Yep.
How many people died when they were experimenting with the polio vaccine and the polio virus? How many people died? Look that up, guys. That is some shit too. That is something.
This is why those vaccinations ain't good, because they don't even know what's in that shit. Excuse my language. They don't even know what's in there.
But you know what? Even that kind of thing right there, and there's lots of other things that diseases and things that they have on deck ready for people, because they actually had it as a counter biological warfare. These are some of the things that they was going to shoot to another country that they got problems with anyway, but they just decided to use it into their own people for depopulation. And they've been trying these polio vaccinations and these the pox, whatever pox, chicken pox or the pox, any kind of pox, except except that. You know what I'm saying? They've been trying all those kind of things, and people have been just submitting their children, especially third world countries. This is the place where they've really been trying these things because they ain't got nowhere to scream out to. They have nobody to, you know, fight for their rights and nothing like that.
For these vaccinations, thinking they're going to help them.
And guess who one of the people who's been taking some of these polio vaccinations and things like you said over there too? Bill Gates.
And
I'm just going to point out that this a-hole, Bill Gates, just purchased a bunch of farmland, agricultural land in the US. He did it on the low. Nobody knew until it was already done. Till the ink, we didn't know until the ink was already dry, basically, guys. This man has been buying up all the agriculture. He has bought in like about, I don't know, I think, I forget what the percentage was, but look it up. He has bought in agricultural land. What do you think that he's going to do with our food? Farmland, where we get our vegetables, everything, guys. This is not a joke.
It makes you think twice about these vaccinations and getting your kids vaccinated. Since the beginning of the AIDS epidemic, almost 70 million people have been infected with HIV. With the HIV virus, and about 35 million people have died of AIDS. Globally, 35.0 million were living with HIV at the end of 2011. An estimated 0.8% of adults ages 15 to 49 years worldwide are living with HIV, although the burden of the epidemic continues to vary considerably between countries and regions. Sub-Saharan Africa remains most severely affected.
Yeah.
Duh.
Back to the fluoride. I forgot to show you guys this, okay? Fluoride is a mineral well known for strengthening teeth and helping prevent dental cavities. Since the amount of fluoride in foods can vary, it is added to public water supplies in some countries, including the US. I'm not going to read all of it, but I want you to see black tea. That's how much fluoride is in it. Fruit juice, guys. This right here, fruit juice. Look how much. I don't drink soda. For those of you that do, there's a lot of fluoride in it as well. Blue crab, shrimp, so sad. Fruit flavored sweeteners. I used to drink a lot of these, but now I really don't. Table wine for all you wine lovers. Now for the people like me that love coffee. 215. It's no joke. So sad. Tap water. Look at the tap water, guys. Raisins. So I just wanted to point this out because even your oatmeal, guys, try to put filtered water when you're cooking your oatmeal. Almond milk, guys, 4%. Light beer, for all you light beer drinkers, 4%. Black bean soup, 2%. Cooked carrots, 2%. Cooked squash, 2%. Boiled potatoes, 2%. Actually, per potato. Check that out. I didn't even see all this. White rice, per cup, 2%. Oysters, per 3 ounces, 1%. And the lovely asparagus, per cup, 1%. I wanted to point that out because just so you know certain things, like it's not a joke. And this is myfooddata.com. I will put everything I've shown you today, I will put all the links in my description so you can, like everybody else, do your own research. If you guys want to double check mine, like I said, I will put all the links in the description box.
With nearly 1 in every 20 adults, 4.9% living with HIV and accounting for 69% of the people living with AIDS worldwide.
And that's crazy, bro. That's depopulation right in front of you.
They had to try it on us first, huh?
And you know, it's real crazy how they brought, you know, what they did was put it into a homosexual kind of thing where you would think that, you know, because we didn't check or nothing like that. We just bought it, you know. Two dudes being together, they created this, you know, or the green monkey that they said before they started this.
They definitely did say that before. This was like a, you know, they blamed it on, you know, people that were, I don't want to offend anybody, that people that were, you know, were gay. They were definitely, it was blamed in the 80s. Like, if you were in that type of relationship, because a lot of people were, you know, on the down low. So a lot of people didn't know until they, you know, something came, you know, a symptom that they couldn't hide started, you know, happening. You know, you get sores and certain things like that, and then you can't hide those. And back then they didn't have a way to, they didn't have enough information on it. They didn't have enough basically research on it to actually be helping people at the time. So a lot of people died, and they died like a horrible death because of these things. So it was a very sad time.
Kind of thing, which, like my man said earlier, this because scientists did do their research on this DNA of the HIV and the AIDS epidemic, and they found it was nowhere in nature. So there was no animal that,
like I just said, patented. Nowhere in nature that you can find this. Patented. Patented. I believe that's the word.
was producing this kind of thing by itself. Nothing was. This was something that was manufactured in a laboratory by men.
Man-made.
You know what I'm saying? With evil purposes intended for, you know, depopulation of a people. You know what I'm saying? And this is something to me that I look at just the evil that men could do when they're inspired by, you know, Luciferian type of doctrine. This is the kind of thing that goes on right here. And if, you know, while we're watching award shows and while we're watching videos and different, and I'm not saying nothing's wrong with having your entertainment, but we so entertained that we miss everything that they're doing out the back door. And I keep always saying that because we're missing the point of a lot of things. We celebrating and we doing a whole lot of other stuff except for paying attention to what's really going on.
Yeah. Now, the virus, it's also said that viruses and pandemics would be used as a depopulation tool as well.
Or
we've touched.
What's happening now, guys?
On a little of that throughout the show already about you know, the many viruses that people have believed for a strong time to be man-made and circulated throughout the population purposely. One being AIDS, we just spoke about. Another one is the Ebola virus, which is also strongly believed to be engineered and used as a tool for depopulation. And you see how fast that is growing. They say that they give us a number of people that have been infected and died from it, but it's actually way more than they always tell us. People have to start paying attention and asking more questions and demanding answers. Where are all these diseases coming from out of the blue?
Bird flu.
Right.
Where'd that go? It was here and then gone.
H1N1.
Realize that the only way to be successful in their plan is if they kill people off in massive amounts. There's no other way around it. They've been telling us this for years, but we've been so subjective and submissive,
pacified.
We haven't been paying attention.
We got football to watch, man. We got groceries. We got things to do. We got traffic that keeps us in the thing. Even right now, we're looking at a presidential impeachment that got our attention right here. While the works that they're doing is still going on while we glued to those TV sets.
Again, wake up and stay woke. So we're gonna move to now and talk about the people behind the agenda. I'm afraid so, people. These people have been meeting secretly for over 25 years with this plan.
Yes.
They're so puffed up with pride, money, and power that it's literally driven their asses insane.
Yeah.
For them to be thinking like this, they are insane. This is why God had it right when he warned us that money is the root to all evil.
The love of money, yep.
This is nothing but evil. This is nothing but evil. And money got them on this trip. Money got them thinking that they can determine who lives and who dies.
Yeah. Almost playing God.
Literally.
I'm like,
that's they plan.
It said that Oprah Winfrey is to be the mouthpiece and the representative of the black people to get us all to submit to this evil plan.
Now, I don't know how many of you agree with that, but to me, that seems dead on. Dead on.
I hope that ain't the case.
I really do.
But the overwhelming evidence speaks for itself. But I'm just hoping that it's not
Dude.
Oprah, baby. Damn, Oprah.
But I can understand that this.
And that's the thing, though, because she's supposed to be someone that the black community looks up to. So they made her this person back. I don't know when Oprah came out. I think it was probably the 80s or the 90s. I'm not sure. I really gotta look into that. But ever since then, Oprah's like the god. You know what I'm saying? Like Oprah can't do any wrong. What happened this summer that came out? All the alleged rumors that they were coming out about her. How Oprah, I think, wasn't her the Oprah Winfrey Network? I forget. I'm not even going to discuss it because I'm not even sure about exactly what I'm saying right now. I have to look into it again to make sure I have my facts correct. But think about it, people. They give you this person to idolize, and then this person is evil. Think about it. Think about it. All the people that we idolize: Beyonce, Oprah, Jay-Z, all these people. You think that the powers that be wouldn't use these people? They wouldn't keep them in that position because, the money makes the world go round, right? And it's evil, right? These people just keep making money throughout their years. They haven't gone down. Their money hasn't, they haven't lost money. They haven't lost revenue, even though they've slowed down their lives a little bit. And they're not putting as much music out there. But then again, they're still very powerful people. Don't let that go over your heads.
This is why I'm seeing, now this is why my mind state takes me like this. Now I don't know for fact, but I'm saying I see the success in her having television networks and shows like that. Now the ones that she's up there with another face, Ted Turner. So every time you're watching the channel USA or USA Network, or you're watching the TNT Network, hell, he got two. So he got TNT and he got USA Network. So when you see, and also Ted Turner is one of the richest and one of the most wealthiest landowners in the United States.
And I'm going back to Oprah, you know what I'm saying? But when you think about it, look how she's been empowered.
Exactly.
She can do just about anything she wants.
Pretty much.
Remember her TV show? You get a car, you get a car, everybody gets a car.
Now who gonna get it? I ain't never seen nobody do that.
These people have unlimited spending power.
Yeah.
Look how many people are obsessed with Oprah and they're not knowing that she's planning, if this is true.
What the hell? I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think. Leave comments.
She's planning to leave.
If this is what's actually going on, let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, and subscribe.